Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming Podcast. Today is the 6th January of 2019. My name is Kralizec and I will be one of your hosts for evening, the second being Tygergamer. Hey Tiger, how are you doing in the new year?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
I'm doing good. Man. New year, new show.
Yeah.
How was your new year? How did you enjoy Christmas?
I really enjoyed it. Got to spend time with my family. I got to spend New Year's Day with my mother, so that was fun.
Yeah, that's good. Family is important, though. I gotta say,
Oh yeah.
sometimes I wish I could just spend Christmas alone, not have to do anything, not have to care about anything, just lay in bed, sleep for 12 hours, and just watch TV series. Honestly, sometimes I wish I could do that, but it's just impossible in the end.
Well, hey, I'll say this. Enjoy the time that you have with your family.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
one of these days you will not be able to spend that time with your family.
Well, that's definitely true. But, sometimes you just feel like, man, I wish I could not do anything. It would be so awesome. But either way, we are not here to talk about Christmas. We're not here to talk about New Year's. Though, sort of, we're going to talk about the past year, actually, because this is the first show of the new year, so let's do a bit of a recapitulation. Let's talk about what we liked, what we disliked last year, and what do we wish from this upcoming year. So let's actually go over some games we really enjoyed last year.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start, and I'm not actually going to do a Game of the Year award because I'm just not sure what would that actually be. There were so many games I enjoyed so much, and just blatantly saying this is the game I enjoyed the most seems unfair to the rest of them. So I've just chosen actually 3 games that I think were just amazing in one way or another. And the first one is Celeste.
Oh, yeah, good choice.
And man, Celeste was a game that I actually finished, and that's not really so common for me these days. Usually I play a game, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend 8 hours in it, 10 hours, 15 hours to finish it. Or to get as far as I need to be happy with how much I progressed so I can give my opinion. With Celeste, I wanted to finish it. And that's something I was very happy that was the case. It's a platformer. It's a game with great music. It's a game with actually a good story. But mainly, the platforming is just really, really good. It starts sort of easier, at the beginning, you're like, why is this put into hard platforming? But as you progress further and further, you just get to see everything that's put into this game. I will say there were a few mechanics that irritated me to no end. Sometimes the game just felt like it wasn't really providing you with exactly what it needed to do. Still.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed every single moment playing Celeste. I even finished some of the B tracks in Celeste. But yeah, I wish more platformers would be like this. So hopefully there will be more platformers like this. And yeah, good job to the authors of Celeste. And I think Celeste showcases something really well. Nowadays, we get a lot of controversies about female characters in games. Why is this character female? She shouldn't be female. And I'm like, I don't care if a character is female or male. I
Same
care if
here.
the game is good. And Celeste was one hell of a game. And I was like, yeah, I don't care I'm playing a woman. I wouldn't care if I was playing a man. I'm just happy I got to play a good game. And
That's right.
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So that's my first game of the year, let's call it. I have not game of the year, I have games of the year.
My first game is the new God of War. Honestly, when the new year started last year, I was actually not considering getting this game until I started seeing reviews from, okay, I might be missing out if I didn't get this game. So I was like, okay, I'll just give this game a try. And I was pleasantly surprised. They have really nailed the new God of War.
That's good. A lot of people were like, reboots? Oh man, another reboot. It's just gonna suck.
Yeah, really. But if you play through the game, it's actually a soft reboot. It's not a complete reboot of the game. You're playing as the same Kratos that you played in the previous games, but who has grown more older and wiser, who's not as angry as often as he used to be.
So that's good.
In fact, I recently I went back and I played through the first few hours of it. And I didn't realize how big of an effect this game actually had on me until I went back and played it. I actually had chills playing through the first few hours. I was like, wow, okay. So yeah, if anyone has not yet played this game, and if you have a PS4, I highly recommend you go pick this up.
That's probably a good idea for anyone, especially with how much praise this game got overall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good choice for anybody who enjoys action adventure games.
Yeah. You know, one weird thing I just thought about. Both the new God of War and Celeste both involve the main characters climbing up a mountain peak.
Yeah, maybe that's what you need to make a good game. Just have them climb a mountain peak. That's the most important thing. If you don't have that, it will not be a good game. No, that's probably not it.
Nah, but I thought about that when I recently went back and played through Celeste as well. And I'm like, both these games have you climbing up to the summit of a mountain. I just found that weird.
Climbing a mountain is actually a pretty common trope. Not in gaming, just like story-wise in general.
Yeah.
It's one of the easiest way to showcase overcoming a huge obstacle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for my second game of this year, I really enjoyed. And I actually had a few people dispute me on this one. It's Project Warlock. So if you don't remember, Project Warlock is a first-person retro shooter in the veins of Doom, Wolfenstein, all these things, with a few newish kind of things added in as leveling, and that's pretty much it. That's for new stuff there. Otherwise, it's very, very old school. And I really loved it. I especially loved its level design, to be honest. Because the level design, from how I played it, it was complex, yet it always got you exactly where you wanted to be. There were only a very few times when I got lost in the game. When I was like, really, okay, where should I go next? I actually had people complain to me that they got lost constantly. I was like, the game always takes you exactly where you're supposed to be. Like, literally to the point. And they were like, no, it's so old school and this level design is confusing. I was like, no, it's level design is like it's circle all the time. You know, you start somewhere, it runs you over, and then it takes you back to that one point where there's another door that you need to open. Very, very rarely you would not get that. Interestingly enough, those were the people that were like, okay, I really didn't like the regular enemies. I really loved the bosses. Those were the only interesting. And I was like, seriously? The bosses were the only thing I thought was boring. So I think it was more of a thing like, what do you like, what do you don't like? But for me, the bosses, I approached them with it very easy. I just circled around and shot at the middle. And I defeated all of them that way. I didn't care about the mechanics because, you know, circling around always worked to kill them. But when you come to the regular ones, there you actually had to put in some tactics. At least for me again. But obviously, I played differently than other people. Yeah, even they said they enjoyed it, that it's not like a bad game or anything. Just, we had different concerns, and it was sort of surprising to me. It was like almost the exact opposite of what we thought. But still, Project Warlock, good first-person shooter if you like retro, and if you just like something fun. And €11, that's a good price. So what about you? What do you have as your, not number 2, but second game of the year? Give me a second. Wait a second. Okay, now you can talk. Sorry.
My second game is Marvel Spider-Man. And I've been a fan of Insomniac Games, the makers of this game, ever since I was real young. And when they announced they're making a Spider-Man game, I was like, yes, show me what y'all can do. And to no surprise, they kicked it out of the park. It feels great to play a Spider-Man. It feels great to swing around the city. The combat feels great too. Being able to use different gadgets. The main story, man. Talk about a great Spider-Man slash Peter Parker story. I'm trying my best in that same thing, but the story towards the end gets really emotional. I'm like, yes. And including also with the 3 DLC, the third piece of DLC came out back on the 21st of December. I had to play through all 3 DLCs. And one thing that I really loved, at the end of the 3rd DLC, right before the credits start, they actually have a little tribute to Stan Lee, which I thought was great all around that they did that. But yeah, like I said, you have a PS4, you just got a PS4 recently for Christmas, go and pick this game up. What's that?
When I first heard that they were going to make a Spider-Man game, I was actually really concerned of how well it can turn out, because the way you move as Spider-Man is just so different towards like how on average you move. You know, in a game, you're not walking, you're not running really, you're jumping around, swinging. And that was actually the thing that I think they needed to nail.
Yeah, you know what? I actually had the same thought up until last year when I played Sunset Overdrive for the Xbox One. When I played that, I was like, okay, yeah, they're gonna nail Spider-Man, because from what I could tell, they actually like took the movement system from Sunset Overdrive and brought it over to Spider-Man, which
was a good idea, I guess.
Yes, it was. And also, to all your PC players, if you're missing out on the new Spider-Man game, go and check out Sunset Overdrive. It recently released for the PC, so that's a good substitute.
And also I wanted to touch on the point of good story. I think, you know, good story can obviously change how a game feels by a ton.
Yeah.
And the only problem can be if you have a great story, but it isn't supplemented by at least good gameplay. No, you can have an amazing story in a game, but if the game is boring or unfun to play, you're not gonna care about the story because you're not going to be sucked in. It's the same thing. You can have an amazing story in a movie, but if the acting is shit, you're not gonna like it.
Well, I've completed the game to 100%, so that should tell you how much I liked it.
Okay, so I have one more game. And this is a game I played only recently, and I praised it a lot, and I don't think I honestly praised it enough. It is Grease. This thing is just gorgeous. This is how you take people who don't understand what gaming is about and show them that gaming is more than just shooters, more than just killing people, more than just punching people. This is how you show people gaming has true emotion to show, has true art in it. And I understand there are plenty of games who are capable of doing the same. But honestly, I don't think there is a game that manages to do it on all fronts as well as Grease does it. You know, I've played plenty of games that look stunning. Plenty of games that sound amazing. Plenty of games that have a great story. Pyre comes to mind. You know, looks great, has great music. But I think the key difference here is Grease is not that much of a game. Even though that sounds weird. It's a game, obviously. It has mechanics. It has challenges. But all the challenges, everything in the game is, you know, pretty easy. It's something that your 6-year-old, if you give him 2 hours to understand a game, could do. It's something your grandma could do. On the other hand, Pyre actually is pretty complex of a game. You need to put tactics and it's not something you can just go to your mom and show her. So this is the reason why I think game's hard. She's just like to be, yeah, it looks nice. It has good music, but it's still just a game. But with Grease, I can tell her just watch me play it. Just look at the experience and don't think about anything else. Everything else is not important. With Grease, it is actually style over substance. But sometimes that can be a good thing. And Grease, I think, manages to actually do that perfectly. It's a game that anytime I have somebody tell me, yeah, gaming is for children, I'm like, okay, look at this. And they're like, holy shit, that's a game? I'm like, yeah, that's a game. Or like, that looks like, you know, something you would watch from a college art student who collaborated with somebody who makes movies. I'm like, yeah, but that can be gaming. And the same way you have really crappy B-tier action movies. Same way you have blockbuster action movies that cater to everyone but are in the end nothing of importance. You have AAA games like Battlefield 5. You know, that's the mainstream AAA game. That's a shooter. It tries to cater to everyone. But then you have art pieces. You have art movies. You have art books. But you also have art games. And Grease is just a spectacular showing of how artsy gaming can actually be if people have the talent, time, and dedication to make it. And I hope to see more and more developers of this kind on the gaming market.
Awesome.
So yeah, what about you? What was your last game of...
My last game of 2018 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's
Actually,
also a good choice.
Yeah. I picked this up on Christmas Day, and so far I spent 40 hours in the game, and the best way I could sum it up is Smash Brothers Ultimate is a celebration of the video game industry as a whole.
Oh, that's a good way to sum it up, I think, actually.
Yes. Seeing all these characters come together
and smash.
Not to mention the adventure mode would have where you have different areas as tributes to different games. Like you have a Pac-Man maze to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You have there's a dungeon where it's like the old Street Fighter 2 map. We actually have to go through as a plane, going to each location, fighting a spirit that's based off of a Street Fighter character.
You know, the only thing I wish Nintendo could do with Smash Brothers, if it could collaborate with companies that aren't so iconic for Nintendo.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I understand that that's not really going to happen because Smash Brothers is so iconic for Nintendo. It would be cool, though, if that could happen.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Smash Ultimate is actually one of the reasons why I decided to pick the Switch back in 2017, because I knew a Smash game was coming to the Switch. I was like, okay, I want to play the new Smash. Whenever it comes out, I have to get me a Switch. And sure enough, I was right. And man, oh man, 74 characters with 6 more coming. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, those are good numbers.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not that big of a fan of fighting games.
That's understandable.
It's just...
Thankfully, though, with Smash, it's very simple to where anyone can pick it up and play.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a benefit. On the other hand, as far as I understand, it also is one of the most competitive fighting games out there.
Yeah.
So it has the potential to be insanely complex.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just too lazy to actually get good at them. That's literally the case. I'm just too lazy to play them. And I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, shoot. I actually played... Me and my siblings, we actually had a tournament on New Year's Day between the 4 of us.
Did you lose?
Actually, no, I did not. I was actually the one who... actually came down to me and my brother, and I managed to beat him. He was so close to beating me but I managed to come out on top. But yeah, if you have a Switch, or you're looking to get a Switch, pick up Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay. Now we have to do the very opposite.
Yeah.
Talk about the worst of the worst. And we're going to start with the worst of the worst, in our opinions, again, games of 2018. We only chose one, each of us.
Yeah.
So I personally went with this thing. Super Seducer. And why does this thing exist? Do you know it actually has... Is there a Super Seducer 2?
Yeah, I've heard that. Uh,
So I wonder if it just got the sales because it was a meme, or whether people actually want this thing. Since to you guys have to understand, this is literally a trainer for guys how to pick up girls. It's so creepy, disgusting, and you know, very often these days you get to hear the word misogynist and sexist and these things. This game actually is all of these words. Man, I'm actually so pissed this thing exists. So pissed this thing's getting sales. Actually, probably good sales because it's getting a second installment. I don't want these things to exist. On the other hand, I'm not saying these games should be banned or anything. I believe that if you want, you can play them, you can make them anything. I just wish they weren't. And it's so sad to see this game succeed. I hope we never get a Super Seducer 3, though at this point, I'm sort of scared we will.
But yeah, more than likely.
And the worst thing is, I was actually like, when I was picking it up, I was like, there are two possible options of how this is going to go. Either it's going to be freaking awful, as it is, or it's actually going to be a game that teaches guys to have confidence, to be honest, not only to others, but mostly to themselves. It's not bad. It's a game that teaches you pickup lines, it teaches you hidden tricks in women's psychology and things that maybe get you laid, but they aren't important. The important thing, if you want to have a girl, to be honest, is just be honest. With yourself, with the girl. And yes, sometimes honesty will not get you the girl you want. But using tricks, lying, that will not end up the way you want it to end up.
Yeah.
So, that's my 5 cents on this game, and I don't ever want to see it again.
Me, the worst game of this year, of the last year, is Fallout 76. I tried so hard to find enjoyment out of this game, but seeing Bethesda screw up again and again, I was like, just stop. You have a good game on the surface. You have a somewhat of a decent game on the surface, but all this other crap that you're doing now, I just cannot. I was like, nope, I couldn't play anymore. I spent like 25 hours in the game. Then all this other crap on Bethesda started going on, and I was like, okay, Bethesda, get your crap together. Don't become EA. Don't become Activision. Come back to your former self. Because I am a huge Fallout fan. When they announced Fallout 76, I had hopes. I was optimistic about this game. But I was spending so much time with it, and I'm like, yeah, Bethesda, get your heads out of your asses.
You know what happened? I'm pretty sure this is what happened. Skyrim happened. And they never expected it. No, trust me. They never expected Skyrim to blow up so big. And when it did, they were like baffled. They were like, so this is what people want? And they just been making the same exact thing since then. And I know that they have had their formula for a long time. And Oblivion and Morrowind, they were similar to Skyrim. But if you take away the special system, Fallout, the Fallouts that came after Skyrim are just reskins of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Same exact quest systems, same exact systems for everything.
Mm-hmm. It seems like the engine too.
Yeah, and the engine is so old at this point. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they don't understand that Skyrim was amazing when it was new. But it's been a long freaking time since Skyrim came out. People want different stuff. People want to see their games evolve.
Yeah.
And that just didn't happen with Bethesda. I'll give them prompts. They tried something new with Fallout 76.
Yeah. And I will say one good thing about the game, and that is in the enemy variety.
Mm-hmm.
Like the new enemies that they put in the game, I found them to be fantastic. But other than that, I would say Bethesda, I love you. Do better.
I think the biggest problem there was just the fact that they misunderstood their own consumer base. Their consumer base doesn't want to play multiplayer games.
Actually, hey, I'm gonna stop right there. I'm actually in the minority where I was looking forward to a multiplayer Fallout game.
You know, I actually, to a degree as well, I would love to play a Fallout. No, honestly, I would prefer a small party, more Elder Scrolls games because I'm more of an Elder Scrolls guy rather than Fallout guy. But the thing is, if I want to play a multiplayer Elder Scrolls games, well, there's the Elder Scrolls Online if I want to play multiplayer. And I can even play small party gameplay there. So, if that's an option. But the vast majority of their players, they just want to explore the world. Find all the little lore tidbits. Like, have you ever just watched YouTube videos about Fallout lore? They're like 40 minutes long about like one shack. And they have like 100,000 views. That's your core demographic. The people who care so much about one single shack that they're willing to listen to a 40-minute explanation of pretty much every single piece of wood in that shack.
Yeah.
And if you release a game that is without a story, that is not a good choice, I think. I think that was the main misinterpretation that Bethesda did. The fact that they did not put story into Fallout 76. Expecting players to make their own shit up. No, that's not why people play your games. There are people who do that, but not with your games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then there was all that shit that happened. But I don't think we need to really talk about that. Well, okay. I think that's it for last year's gaming experiences.
Yep.
Let's now talk a bit about the stories of last year. So we just talked about Fallout 76. I don't think we need to talk about that anymore. It was just a clusterfuck of everything going wrong that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
I do want to mention one. You probably heard of this one, but people who are banned have to write an essay to be unbanned.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I was like, what? And it's even like people who mod the game to fix bugs.
Yeah.
It's like, Bethesda, are you just going mad? Are you just taking PCP now? Just magic mushrooms all over the place or something? Did you try one of the nukes in your own office and you were just going all mad from radiation poisoning? Seriously, I was just... Fallout 76 was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right before Bethesda took over the bad news, we had Blizzard having a bit of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Though, honestly, I don't feel that they deserved all the flack that they got.
Yeah, really.
And just, so what? They are announcing a mobile game. Who would have guessed? Everybody who had any sense about how the gaming industry looks right now.
Yeah, and we actually guessed that too.
Yeah, like 2 weeks before it happened, like, it's gonna be a mobile game.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. I will give the people that they could have handled it better from a PR point of view. But from a developer point of view, it makes total sense. Like, yeah, mobile gaming is huge. It's no surprise that they want to cash in on that. They have Hearthstone right now, but let's face it, Hearthstone is old, and while it is still raking in a ton of money for them, it's probably nothing close to what some of the other titles that are on the gaming market are raking in. Like, even things that, aren't pure Candy Crush. Like, right now, I'm actually really enjoying Brawl Stars on my phone. Have you tried that? Brawl Stars?
No, I have not.
Yeah, give that one a try. It's a game from Supercell, the new one. You've probably seen an ad for it because the ads are everywhere, at least on my phone. It's a good, fun little twin-stick shooter on your phone that you can play with other people. And I'm betting you Supercell is making a ton of money selling skins and everything that is typical for a freemium game. And yes, that's what the new mobile Diablo game is going to be, a freemium game. I'm sure of it. There will be power boosts in it. But that's the mobile market. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
And yes, they probably should have just shown like a logo for Diablo 4. Everybody would have been happy, and nobody would care the teeniest bit about Diablo Immortal at that point. Sadly, they were Blizzard, and they were confident. But for once, they were too confident. So, what else? What else was really fun this year? What was your, top news of 2018?
Oh, man. Trying to think back to... Yeah, there's been a lot.
There was the whole China stuff with games not being approved.
Yeah.
Remember the list of games that are banned for various reasons?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was scary, to say the least. And China is just scary as hell altogether. Obviously, we had the start of the year and end of last year with the whole loot box issue that pretty much is running until now.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for how that gets resolved, and it's sort of sad that we have to wait a year and still not resolved. It's just, holy hell. Anything really positive that sticks up to your mind?
I was saying, and we didn't catch these last year ourselves, but I don't remember them
Give me a second. Your internet probably went a little bit. I'm gonna try to fix it. Let's try quickly restarting the call. It usually helps. Sorry guys, technical issues. We can't really do much about those. Okay, how is it working? Try speaking.
Hello? Hello?
It seems better sound-wise. The video is still not that great, but hopefully it will at least work sound-wise.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll say a few positive things that I remember that happened this past year. There's this guy, I can't remember his name, something Taylor, who had cancer and who didn't have long to live, and he was a fan of Devil May Cry and Smash Brothers. And
I remember that one.
Yeah. And some people on Twitter got behind him, and they managed to get in contact with Nintendo, and he got to play Smash Bros. Before he passed away a few days later, which, even though it's sad, it's also a positive note that the game community got together to do that. And the same thing goes for Bethesda going to a 12-year-old's house who was also suffering from cancer, where they allowed him to play Fallout 76 for a day. And you know, it turned out as good as we thought it would be. Hey, you have to play it. I don't know if he's still around or not, but hey, you have to play it.
Yeah, it's just, that's a good thing. Whenever companies like try to show that they're good, we had obviously tons of money being donated to charities from developers, from streamers, from regular gamers. All of that just happened, and that's a good thing that it happened. Sadly, when we cover the news, we usually do cover the bad things, because, oh yeah, let's face it, the bad things are more interesting to talk about. We do not like it, but it is just a fact of life that people care more about negative stuff. That's why whenever you watch the news, like regular news, 99% of it is bad. And then at the end, you have one little puppy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're guilty of doing it as well. Like, remember Lucio's? Lucio. By the way, did you get me some already or not?
I looked around, but they're freaking sold out.
Oh man! Oh, it was to be expected.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a limited time thing or not, but I'll keep looking around for them. So.
Okay. Well, let's now go away from 2018. It's a past year. Let's look with optimism into the future with some of the games that we want to see because they look amazing. And the first one is Doom Eternal. And do I have to say even more? It's Doom. It's Eternal.
Yeah.
The previous Doom was amazing. It was a reboot done well. And this time we're going to see Earth wrecked and just shoot the crap out of demons, because that's honestly all we want to be doing. I don't care about the story. I don't care about anything. I just wanted to feel good, to have plenty of demons to shoot, to be a kick-ass hero, and I wanted to have good metal music, because it wouldn't be Doom without good metal music. So yeah, Doom Eternal, definite must for me. Actually, Doom, the new one, the past new one, was the first game I played on this new computer. It was like my testing phase. It was before I was doing videos. It was before I was streaming. It was just, it was a ton of fun.
Awesome.
Okay, so what about you?
For me, my first game of the new year, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, that's an interesting choice from my point of view. It's not something I would have chosen.
For me, it is not. It's an easy choice. Considering I grew up with the series, and the last main game that came out, I was 10 years old when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. So it's been almost 14 years since the last game came out.
Yeah, that's a while.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 is like what Half-Life 3 would be to you PC players.
Yeah, I think Half-Life 3 is a bit more, actually. Like, you knew Kingdom Hearts 3 is eventually coming. Half-Life 3, it's never going to come. Never, ever.
I didn't know it would come up until 2013. To that point, we didn't even know if Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming or not. We thought we were telling me you get spin off after spin off after spin off.
To me, it was so obvious it's coming. It was like, Disney is not going to say no to more money.
True.
But yeah. You know the first time I ever heard about Kingdom Hearts? And I was so baffled when I first saw this. It was when I was in high school. And I was a pretty big Linkin Park fan at that point. Mm-hmm. And I was, looking for some music videos. I think we actually had a special class that we were learning to type all 10 fingers. And we used to go to computer class there. So it was, it was a break. So we were just hanging out on the internet. I was like, was a point for... No, it was Forgotten from Linkin Park. And it was... Suddenly there was Goofy and Mickey Mouse in the video clip. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was well put together, I will say that. The music and the video was just awesomely put together. But I was like, what is this thing? Who created this? And why is Mickey Mouse swinging around a giant fucking... I think it was a sword or something. It's like... Where is this coming from? So I was like, this is a game? Because I never was a console player. I was always a PC gamer. So Kingdom Hearts never, even touched me. At that point, I was playing Gothic and actually the original Oblivion games. And I was like, what? And I was so baffled and so confused. But it was a good music clip. I will give them that.
Yeah, January 29th. This year. Probably Linkin Park started.
Yeah, that was sad. So, I have another game I want to recommend. And I think we will both agree on this one.
Yeah.
The Outer Worlds.
Yeah. This
is what Fallout is supposed to be. Hopefully. Really, really hopefully. A game that looks good. Seems to somewhat follow the original RPG line. Though I actually recently watched a video criticizing that modern RPGs aren't RPGs. And I was like, no, they are. You're just using a very limited definition of what an RPG is. It was only games like Baldur's Gate are RPGs. No, that's not the case. Those are party-based RPGs. But, he was mistaking... I think there was an understanding the role-playing game aspect. The role-playing, he was just like, RPG is what I remember when I was a kid. But Outer Worlds truly does look amazing, and if Obsidian screws this up, I'm gonna lose all hope for AAA gaming. Forever. What is your opinion of the Outer Worlds?
I cannot wait. When they first showed the teaser image of the Outer World before they even announced the game a few days before the Game Awards, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a Fallout game. And lo and behold, I was right. And I cannot wait to try this out.
And if it's bad, we're both gonna be mad.
Yeah. Which I do have somewhat high hopes for Obsidian because they're the ones who created New Vegas, which is one of my favorite Fallout games of all time. So, just wait and see.
Hopefully they don't screw it up. Really, really hope. Please be nice.
Don't be Bethesda.
Yeah, don't be Bethesda. And at this point, I think they understand it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have anything else to recommend?
Yeah, my final game to recommend I'm looking forward to this year, even though I just got into the series back in August, is Shenmue 3.
Oh, that's again a choice I would have not made personally.
I know you wouldn't.
Because this is a game that looks like anime.
uh, but yeah, I know a lot of people, just like Kingdom Hearts 3, they've waited 17 years for Shenmue 3 to come out, and they didn't get confirmation of Shenmue 3 until 2015. So, from a bunch of people, not including me, because I just got into the series this past August,
Mm-hmm.
some of these people that have been waiting for Shenmue 3 are now in their 30s or late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
They've waited so long for the sequel to come out, and I hope for them and for me it'll be a good sequel.
Okay. I actually have one more little game, and this one is actually a little game. This is a game called Ape Out. This is not a sequel. This is not a AAA game. This is a little indie game where you're an ape that gets out of his cage. He just started murdering everything. And it just looks fun. I gotta say, it doesn't look like it's gonna be the most amazing game ever. But I think it's just gonna be fun, and that's something that should not be underestimated.
Yeah.
Fun is important in gaming, and I think people these days sometimes just forget that fun is what gaming should be about. And I can't wait to try this thing out. It's actually coming out in February, so we won't have to wait that long again for it. It's you should take a look at this one. It's coming for the Switch as well, and for a Switch, it actually seems really, really fun.
What's the name of it again?
Ape Out.
Ape Out. Okay.
Okay. And with that, I think we are done for today.
Yeah.
So, you guys, hope you enjoyed today's show. Please be sure to enjoy gaming. Not take it so seriously sometimes, because sometimes people just take everything so seriously. It's really not the point of what gaming should be about. Just remember, it's fun. And you should take it as fun.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you are watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in next time for more gaming news. This time, bit more new.
Yeah. Yeah, we get one.